Welcome. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is October 7th, 2023. You know what that means. It is day 7. We are a full week into the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 12. And today's movie is Evil Dead Rise. Once again, I do not own a copy of this movie, so I'm going to insert the poster here. And before I really dive deep into this movie, I need to do a few things. You know the spiel by hitting the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and share, and going to do all that fun stuff for the 13th Wolfman. I am the Ice Lord, Echo, Jennifer Toshi, Random Horror. You got Trash Film Addict. Goodness. Have Cheetah Will View. He's doing it all. Like, there's just so many people doing it. You'll probably find more people doing it once you go check out everyone's channels, because doing all the things helps our channels and videos get out there to a much broader audience. And when you leave a comment down below, helps us stay connected, because we want to hear what you have to say about the review. If you have seen that particular movie that they were talking about, or the movie I'm talking about today, we want to hear what you have to say, or just something that, or even if you disagree with something, just keep it respectful, and just, that's all I ask. So, that is it. Like I mentioned, today's movie is Evil Dead Rise. It's the newest edition in the Evil Dead franchise, and I think it's the weakest of the Evil Dead franchise. We've had we got Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness. We got the remake. We got the TV series as well. But this one is it's not bad, okay? But it's weak because they took what made those movies great and they put it in a setting that didn't quite work. Because everything that happens in this movie felt like it could have been planted anywhere in this entire world, but what it takes place in an apartment complex. Them finding the book, it was kind of weird. It was like I liked how the book was already in the cabin, or that they found it buried in the cabin, because that's the whole point of this book, is that it should not have been found, but it was found in this kind of vault looking thing underneath this apartment complex when a freak earthquake happened. And it just very it didn't seem plausible, you know. I mean, like, even in the originals, like, they just a bunch of friends go to the cabins in the woods and they come across the book and they release some Kandarian demons and picks them off one by one, and the only way to kill the demon is by pure dismemberment, okay? Or in the remake, where they're kind of bringing the friend out there to detox from drugs, and they do the exact same thing. But this one, it feels different, and that's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either, because there's some stuff in this movie like, well, why is that in this apartment complex? Like there's a wood chipper. Like, why is there a wood chipper there? It's only there to be there. You know, there's no explanation as to why it's there. If there was, I missed it, but they don't fully use this whole apartment complex. They kind of stick it to their floor, the elevator, and the basement. Like, I would love to have seen this movie take place over multiple floors, and stuff like that. But it just felt like it could have been a movie in like a cabin in the woods movie as well. Like, I know, but if they're going to, this is how I would have done it. Okay, I know I'm kind of crapping on this movie, but I will explain all the good stuff here in a second. There is a lot of good things about this movie, I promise. So this is how I would have done this movie. The movie opens up awesome. It opens up with a cabin in the woods. and you're not quite sure what's going on and everything. And then it's like, then there's just a text on the screen after like chaos has happened. It's like one day earlier. It's like, how did like that? Like, how did that happen? But like the main part of the movie takes place in the city. So like, so they've kind of roped themselves into that kind of corner. Okay. But this is how I would have done it. If they really wanted to make this kind of like um a multiple kind of occupant kind of thing, because like they do use other occupants on this floor or tenants or whatever. This is how I would have set it in more of a like a like a trailer park, or because that at least then like because those are usually off the beaten path anyways, and they're off to themselves, or kind of have like multiple cabins in the woods, like two or three on one end, two on the other side, and kind of have like this bigger cabin in the middle, like kind of like a hall or whatever. And that's how I would have done it. That would explain the wood chipper, or not a hall, but like more of like the woodshed. It would explain the wood chipper, the chainsaw, a gun, like because the book, like the everyday object is the book, the Book of the Dead, because like by itself, it's doing no harm, but until someone wields it, um, being like totally oblivious to what they're doing, or like it's the book or a record playing, it's translating the Book of the Dead. It's it's one of those two. It's the book and the kind of the recording. It's kind of like those are the two objects for this movie. Um, but it's those two things being used like totally like ignorantly. It's like, I don't know if that's an actual word, but like they're obliviously to what they're about to unleash onto what's going to happen. So, but yeah, like that's how I would have done it. Like, but then like because what makes this movie great is the special effects, the acting, the like if they would like, even the premise is not that bad. Like, I know I do like it's a little bit more of a like a modern setting, not like more of a urban setting. Like it's like an actual like building instead of just a cabin. I do like that aspect a little bit, but it just didn't feel utilized enough. So, because there are some gory moments in this movie. There are some moments where one of the possessed kids eats some glass, and you can kind of see it kind of poking through the skin as she swallows it, and it's like, is it gonna break the skin? But it's just like, oh my god. And like one of the kids was fighting the mom, her sister, and everything, and he's getting stabbed, and it's rough. This movie is very bloody, and I love that for it, especially the elevator scene and the like, just the unexplainable wood chipper scene. Like the gun is explained, and everything, but it's just the wood chipper. It just felt so weird to me. Like if we would have done like how I would have done it, is like set it. Still could have used the multiple tenant kind of thing, like in the trailer park, or having multiple cabins in the woods, kind of being like more like a rental area. I think that would have been awesome as well. But it just being in a cabin or being set in an apartment complex, it just feels weird to me. But I do have to say that the makeup and the gore and the acting and everything really does make this movie rewatchable. Okay. So I don't know if I've kind of been forgetting to do my rating scale for the last few movies, because um I'm trying to like steer away from that a little bit, but and kind of explain why this movie would be rewatchable or just a one-time viewing or anything like that. Obviously, some of the other like Misery from a couple days before is obviously a horror classic, but it is rewatchable. 13 it's probably only good for like one viewing, because once you kind of feel, you already know the outcome of each pull of the trigger, it kind of loses its muster a little bit. Where this one, you kind of, you may see something a little different. There may be a little bit of, maybe your eyes are focused on this part of the screen and you missed what's going on in this part of the screen, you know? So this is a very rewatchable film. It just may not be a strong installment, but I still like this movie. I was all the way, I was engaged all the way through the movie, and everything. But the setting kind of threw me off a little bit. But it's still a good movie. It really is. I mean, I know I've been kind of harping on the negative a little bit, but like the acting from the mom is so good. She is like, I'm forgetting the actress's name. She is so good in this movie. The sister is so good in this movie. Even the kids, even though like kids in movies can be kind of like iffy and everything, but the kids in this movie are really done really well. Even the little girl, and everything, and it's super gory. I was actually surprised how gory it was. I think some directors get a little bit more leeway on their gore, but yeah, I liked this movie, but there's just some aspects of the movie could have been tweaked a little bit to make it a little bit more scarier. Like if they would have done the trailer park or whatever, like they could have done, like they could have eventually kind of made the whole trailer park kind of be demons, and that wood chipper could have come in the handy, or the if I'd done the other way, the multiple cabins in the woods, and like the mom could have been going from cabin to cabin, and like the family could have been split up between the the 4 or 5 cabins or whatever. So it could have been like each little bottleneck movie or whatever. So yeah, it's like it could have been done that way, but like the choices that they made in this movie were good. I mean, I'm not saying things were just to be doing, like, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. It was my first real horror movie that I watched in a very, very long time. And it was fun. It really was. So, after it was kind of a slow burn, but once they find the book and everything, it really started to pick up from there. So that's really all I have to say. This movie is definitely rewatchable. It's definitely way more. If I had to do my rating scale, it is definitely more than average, because like I haven't seen a movie this gory in a long time, especially a mainstream movie that's gory in a long time, and that used to that much blood and everything. So that's really all I have to say about Evil Dead Rise. I would say definitely check it out. If I ever do like a whole Evil Dead rewatch or whatever, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm about to watch this movie. I would be like, okay, I'm about to watch Evil Dead Rise. I would still be excited to watch it, but it just not as much as the previous installments or the TV series. So, but yeah, that is all. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and the only way I can end these videos is to say thank you and stay spooky.